Hello and welcome to the most unscripted ever Jump King Challenge episode. Who knows? Divisible by 115. I think that means it's 23. Welcome. I hope I can do it today. I mean, that would be great. I have only about an hour to do everything, so that's tough because last time I think it was a bit more than an hour. But I'm hopeful. I also should probably make sure everything's working. It looks like it's working. All right. I think there's one other thing I wanted to check, which was I need to boost this a little bit. I think I was a bit too quiet last time, if I remember correctly, and hopefully that will help. All right. So this time I am hoping to finish the game. Now, last time I was with Joey, and we got real far. New peak, smooth sailing, perfect gameplay. Um, but my controller had died pretty early on, and I think that stopped it from being, a game-winning run or something like this because uh, how many falls were wasted by that? I would assume like at least 30. And considering how far we got, I think those 30 falls would have been a huge factor, especially because of how far I fell down. I think I fell all the way down to Colossal down here at one point, which is crazy because I usually do not spend any time down here anymore, right? Other than that fall just a bit ago, this is usually not a fall heavy zone, just because I'm used to it, right? I have good muscle memory now for all of these locations. I know how much you're supposed to jump. I know where I can do these max jumps, and that's what it's all about, right? So hopefully today's going to be very smooth up until we get to the gales, to the wind, and once we're up there, I think it will be tough. But I think we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna go even farther than before. Okay, run Bargenberg. I remember when Bargenberg seemed like an undefeatable enemy, and it just makes me hopeful. It shows that you can get better at something that you're not even traditionally good at, because I'm usually terrible at these games. And how much of it is just about learning to improve, to get better, and that's still always going to be hard. I gotta forgive myself, right? And that's, I think, what strangely platformers are maybe about in some senses, like building up uh, a willingness to be a shonen protagonist, to get up again and again when you make mistakes. How do I do this again, guys? I don't even remember. There we go. Okay. It hasn't been that long. But every once in a while, your brain just deletes temp files, and who knows what will happen next. So, because I am kind of feeling positive about the challenge now, I do have a feeling that I'll be able to pull it off maybe today. I I've been thinking about what's next, because obviously there'll be no pause. So when this challenge ends, a new weekly challenge will begin. It could be something very intense like this. It could be something more um I don't know, like the first time I scream, I stop. It could be something like it could be a skill thing, it could be a more personal, emotional thing. Um, but it will be another game based challenge. I think those are very producible for like weekly things. I am interested in doing other kinds of challenges, other kinds of videos. Um, and I was actually scripting one of my videos that's been long awaited since last year even. I wrote another, I don't know, 500 words on it or something, on this video essay. And there's been a lot of stuff that has been making me think more about the concept and so on. But in the end, I guess what I want to say about the challenge videos is they will be in some way related to video gaming, and I have some different ideas of directions I could go and why I would go in different directions. The one that is currently most alluring to me is to uh, do something that chases the hype a little bit. What I mean by that is, something that's in the zeitgeist. Jump King very not in the zeitgeist, right? It's very much I picked this up because I watched CDawg VA playing it, and I was like, this looks like pain. I want to inflict that on myself, and I want others to see it. But this is not something that a lot of people are going around watching, um, regardless of how amazingly charming my guests are, or how I provide the necessary positive cushion between them and myself, provide entertainment. Um, but I guess what I'm getting at is there is a low chance with something like Jump King that you actually build any kind of following. I don't know. I'm coughing this morning. That was a yikes. Let's not do that again. And so I've been thinking about doing the opposite. What do you do when you want to build a following? Well, you obviously find something that is popular now, or something that is new or has the potential to be popular, something that people will be searching. They'll be like, "Oh, is there gameplay of this new game?" And I would be maybe the person to do that, to chase something new, try it out, do a challenge about it. Um, there are some difficulties with that approach. For example, if I do it today, um, what am I going to grab? Does this mean next week I'm going to be playing the new Crusader Kings 3 DLC to conquer feudal Japan and make a story conquering feudal Japan with my family? I mean, that would sound fun to me, right? And there would be people who are interested in seeing this new Crusader Kings update, and maybe would get swept into the theatrics of the story, become interested in my dynasty and all this sort of stuff. But I don't know. If I chase something like that, I don't know what it will be, because every week it would be something different. This week the whole all heavens thing works quite well because it's out there. Um, but in 1 week, after that, 2 weeks, I guess, the hype will be gone. Any audience growth capacity is also diminished. Um, yeah. Why can't I do this? I was doing this last time, right? Mhm. Whatever. So that's one idea, is to kind of cultivate a new niche. No. Um, and go from there. Another option is to look at something that already is an existing kind of niche community. Um, one of my viewers is very into horror games and watching people embrace the horror. And they suggested that I play Fears to Fathom or something like this, and I think that might be better served not as a challenge, but just as like doing them for fun, I guess you could say. Um, but they do have like niche audiences, right? They have an established community. There are people who search for reactions to these just to see people play them. I know with my most beloved game, Inscription, that I've watched random people play it just because I love it so much. Um, and so I think that can happen as well. Right? But I don't know. I don't know what challenges to be made with horror. Maybe that is like the first to scream kind of lose. But maybe other niches offer other opportunities. I'm not sure. I do think I will be doing a couple simpler videos that require less scripting, less work time, where I do play a couple horror games. So there will be some horror content that comes that will be more standalone and not part of a challenge. That's been inspired to me, and I have more time in my life now again to do this kind of stuff. So I will be honestly a bit delighted to do that. I did it, guys, and then I immediately flubbed because I was so excited. um, I've also thought about pandering, about basically 15 falls. I need to just focus up, guys. About basically just pandering to what you people may want. So, yeah, okay, that's way too much. Way too much gas. Um, basically doing whatever kind of excites y'all as an option. And that would, of course, involve doing a lot of horror games, haha. But also other kinds of content that maybe just get recommended in the comments by anyone. Um, the benefit of that, of course, is better audience retention. You get the engagement of the audience as well. That can drive clicks. Oh, look, this person does what we say. Hooray. But it also comes with like a lack of agency. Like basically, oh, I'm letting you decide what I can do, and the channel becomes you as the content. This is something I really don't like about a lot of bigger channels, is that they make their communities into the content. It's very lazy, in my opinion. It can be really funny, but I think I don't want to be too mean to specific creators, but like bookshelf reviews, room reviews, confessions, ban appeals. Um, some of these maybe are like the ban appeals. I can almost get behind because I go, okay, yeah, this is more about doing work that you have to do. But these other ones, they come to me as just like kind of parasitically feasting on your community. And I think that doing what your community says in terms of content, like if you say, okay, in the next video, if you do this, then I'll do this, it runs the risk, right, of becoming kind of this parasite. I uh, I don't believe that I would ever get to that level. So that's kind of where I rebut that back to myself, and I'm like, well, so I might just in this video even, ask you what challenge do you think I should do? What do you think? What approach do you think I should take of the approaches that I mentioned? Um, because it interests me. Right? I want to know what you think I should do. I've also thought, um, both in a discussion with Yulia and also on my own. I've thought about going through newer games, free games, these kind of things, and giving them a quick play and review. And that has been appealing to me in concept, partially because of you know the escapist. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be here, right? This is like the wrong spot to be, but I'll be fine. Oh no. What was that? The wind was going the opposite direction. Dude, that didn't count as a fall. Crazy. But that did. I've been inspired by, The Escapist, by what it is called nowadays, Second Wind, Ramblematic, um, semi-Ramblematic. I've been inspired by The Elder Frost to talk about, games and reviews that are maybe outside of the norm. And also by Charlie, by Moist Critical. So that is also an option, is maybe going after these kind of new games. And I also have a strong interest in playing like unique or indie games. That's something I do for fun. I especially like meta games and things like that that kind of bring you into the process in some way. Um, so I have a lot of strong feelings, I guess, about games like that, and I already love a lot of them. A lot of the stereotypical ones you might know about, like the Beginner's Guide or Stanley Parable or the Magic Circle, Inscription, Pony Island. Um, so in a way, the hex. These options, these four options that I've kind of laid out, are all possibilities for the challenge of the future. I don't know what the challenge would be with new games. I don't know if it'd be like play an hour, not even play an hour, I guess. Play new games until you get bored. The issue is I could get swept in and play for hours. um, and there's also no end goal then, right? We could say searching for the a 9 out of 10 game or something, or a 10 out of 10 game, or searching for a 0 out of 10 game. Kind of go through different games and just see if we can reach it. Um, that could be interesting. I don't know. So I have some ideas, but they're not very developed ideas. So I'd be happy to hear what you think, what your suggestions would be. And I want to shift gears now to talk about something that is more non-personal, but also personal. I like to play chess, and in the chess world, Daniel Naroditsky recently committed suicide or overdosed on drugs. I don't think it has been confirmed one way or the other as of yet. And of course, look into that yourself. But last I heard, there was not confirmation. And this was, I didn't watch Danya's streams. I don't watch streams. I didn't watch his videos. However, I've of course watched some of his commentary of some chess games because he was also a commentator. Um, and I am just kind of aware of his role in the community of chess. online in the English-speaking world, and he's always been regarded as a very nice, kind soul, someone who's always offering advice and help and making things easy to understand, but also being a very educated individual. And he is only, I don't know, I made that same mistake twice. He's only 29. He was only 29. And I guess what I want to talk about it is two things. One is like empathy that I feel about the situation, and also about the context of the situation. And I'll start with the context because it's more important, maybe. Um, so Daniel Naroditsky was falsely accused of cheating in chess 2 years ago by world champion, not current, but former world champion. Um, one sec. Vladimir Kramsky. And Kramsky, of course, he beat Karpov, I want to say, to become the world champion. He's an old geezer now, but he's also a Russian. Um, Not that him being a Russian has to do with him being old or what is to follow here. Um, but Kramsky has gone off of the deep end, um, really heavily uh, in recent years. So pretty much, he has been accusing a lot of good chess players of cheating, and he is accused, for instance, Hikaru Nakamura, the uh, perennial second place speed player, blitz player, sometimes the best speed chess player in the world, sometimes not, um, of cheating because he won too many games in a row against lower ranked players. Um, and he has been especially relentless in his pursuit of Dania. And this resulted in changes to the security of FIDE. FIDE is the chess federation of their tournaments. It's changed how a lot of things were dealt with in general, um, in order to, dispel notions of cheating and so on. But also, then a lot of these new regulations and new rules they came into existence in a way because of Tanya, right, of Naroditsky. And this has all taken quite a toll on Naroditsky. He's met with Kramnik. Kramsky is what I've been saying. Oh my gosh, it's Kramnik, guys. Kramnik. Kramsky is that guy from Detroit Become Human. Um, oh my lord. Um, but Kramnik has been, has met with Naroditsky. They've played games. Kramnik has been in the position where I think it was a Spanish grandmaster, might be a different country's grandmaster, but um, they played in like an exhibition match to try and dispel allegations of cheating that Kramnik has been making. Other people have, taken directly to him in terms of criticism and so on. Um, but in the end, Kramnik could not really be convinced that Danya was not cheating, seemingly. But I think it's important to note that Kramnik is either very malicious or is completely in need of like medical help for these kind of delusions. Uh, there was a point where Daniel had multiple cameras on his stream showing all the different things around him to dispel these cheating allegations, but they never stopped. Um, And when your whole life is about playing a game and you're accused of having, no integrity, uh, it takes a toll on you. And in the end, there was several kind of moments of revelation, I guess, out there. One of which is a couple days before the potential suicide. Um, Naroditsky was in Karu's chat and said, "I thank you," paraphrasing here, "for being the only high profile top player who actually came out to my defense against Kramnik." Um, and it's a kind of red flag, right? These kind of final goodbye thank yous. But it also could have just been Naroditsky being a kind person, as he has been in the past. Um, but in the end, he was on a stream rather recently. He seemed very sad and out of it, and he also talked about recently how whenever he was doing well in chess, he would have to stop streaming because he would be accused of cheating, and this just kind of was destroying him. And in the end, I think this hit me in terms of like empathy, I guess, partially just like as a diffusion. Like I could just see how much this person mattered to their community, to the community of chess, and how so many chess creators and stuff that I have watched or listened to, um, whether they are Lepi Roseman or Hikaru Nakamura, how they have responded to the situation and how devastated it made them. And there's a lot of anger there because FIDE, the Chess Federation, has done so much to side with Kramnik, right? To make changes that support his delusions, 41 false, and not censuring him for his relentless pursuit of players. And in the end, Kramnik has recently posted an apology. Just kidding. He made a statement about Naroditsky's death, and in it, he claims he's never harassed Naroditsky. In it, he talks about trying to uh, pursue Naroditsky as a cheater with FIDE and official regulatory bodies and lawsuits and so on. And he also, at the end, says something like, "Oh, I don't want to kill myself." And this is it's truly horrendous. It's truly vile, evil. Um, I don't even know what the word is for it because it's abnormally cruel to possibly drive someone to suicide. Even if you don't, you're ruining their career, and you have to be aware of that, right? Even if someone is a cheater, which I would say is very bad. I think cheating in games is an act of no integrity. But if it's someone's livelihood you're going after, um, you have to acknowledge that that is a factor in destroying their lives. If you point out someone is cheating in, I don't know, in gambling or something, and they kill themselves, then there is some responsibility on what you did as the person who revealed it. It wasn't always the case that they were going to be gone, right? Um, and I think that's kind of a tough pill to swallow for like individualists because so many individualists believe that we all make our own choices. We don't make other people's choices. And I even feel that way a lot of the time about emotions. Like I think a lot of our emotional responses are sometimes not provoked by other people's actions directly, and it's more of like we are interpreting them one way and then reacting to them as if they are true. And that's just like part of perception and reality is like that's normal. It's how it is. Um but I think there's a difference between that and something that directly has like a material effect on someone's life. And that's the point that we're at, right? So it made me feel really really sad, and in a way I wasn't sad because I knew who Naroditsky was, but because of the horrible things allowed to happen. And D-Day put out a statement where basically they accused people who are upset about this as virtue signaling, um, and also implied that the people who criticize them about this they weren't really friends of Danya or knew Danya in any real capacity or what he was necessarily going through and so on. And it's like that's a vile, almost malevolent thing to say as the governing body of an organization. I think if you are in a governing body and your members are persecuting each other, I think you have to take responsibility. um yeah, so that's kind of a little update in the chess world, I guess, is this whole situation. And Lavi Roseman has used his very large platform to call attention to uh Naroditsky's situation and to call FIDE to do something. um And the thing is, in the past, FIDE has certainly censured people like Bobby Fischer for being anti-Semitic or so on and so forth. Like, you can do some things. So hopefully, Kramnik will see some justice. Like, I mean, he will face justice, and hopefully, Eurydice will see justice because it's heavy. 52 falls. We're about halfway through, and we're about halfway through on time. I'm hoping I can get my shit together here, guys. I feel like we're really in the windswept bluffs a lot of the time. And the reason is it's so hard. And when you fall so far. And I'm kind of like, well, what if I just rush through it like this? I just kind of channel my muscle memory only and just am like, okay, jump, jump, jump. Will that be better? Maybe. We seem to be doing good now. um Undershot. Okay. I think we're almost there, guys. We're almost out of this. I did it again. I keep max jumping there every time. I need to stop max jumping there. I want to talk about what I'm excited for in the remainder of the year. One is my bestie's birthday. It is coming up very soon. By the time this airs, it still will not have happened because I'm actually not recording this very far away from the date of its upload. Um, so that's one thing I'm really excited about. We're gonna play pool. It's gonna be great. Um, I'm excited for some releases. I'm excited for this Crusader Kings release. I have some fear about it because Paradox sometimes builds very wide and not very tall. So I'm hoping that this is a good depth kind of add-on expansion DLC. Um, but at the same time, I'm like, but I'm just kind of excited to have some fucking samurai. That's cool. So I'm really excited to not only to run a feudal clan basically in Japan, um, but I also really am pumped for playing a roving samurai, which is also an option. So I I'm really interested in that. I just think it's cool. I also am psyched to try out these kind of Indonesian cultures I know very little about, but I think could be just exciting and interesting. I bet there's really cool history to explore their religious differences. Um, so those things kind of hype me up. I'm also really excited for the release of the third Empire of the Vampire book. It's called Empire of the Dawn. Um, to me, I feel there's like a natural conclusion that's on the way. And I'm really I'm feeling it. I think we're almost there, and I hope it's only 3 books. These are really long books. They're 700 pages, 740 pages, and each book always ends in such a way that I'm like, that book is special. Um, and I'm really hoping I can just keep that energy throughout because these are some absolutely unique vampire epic fantasy texts. Really gritty, but also edgy, but in the fun way. Yeah, I'm hoping that it all comes together at the end because so far it has come together quite well. Everything's going well. You may wonder why I'm yawning. It's because I'm recording in the morning. I just woke up and I need some tea, maybe, or maybe just water. Drink water, everybody. We're at 62 falls. Keep it going. That was really bad, guys. That was really bad. I really have this Linkin Park song "Heavy Is the Crown" in my head right now because I was watching a Dose of Buckley episode that I didn't finish. That was being critical of the Linkin Park audience for not really picking up the new music, and I would actually tend to agree with that. I was initially very worried because the new lead singer who replaced Chester Bennington is a Scientologist, and yeah, but I think she is a great singer. She fits his role quite well, and the music they've been making sounds like the music that people fell in love with 20 years ago. And there's been a lot of like lack of ticket sales, and so Buckley was kind of going over whether is this because of sexism, is it because their lyrical content is worse, and other factors. And I haven't finished the Buckley video. I ended up closing it because I went to sleep. But something that Buckley kind of stuck with that I thought was noticeable is like Linkin Park's music is similar to what it once was, and it's like maybe people have grown tired of their music in general and liked the evolution of it. Or maybe there is something to the idea that it being now frontmanned by a woman, how that maybe affects the sales, the audience, etc. I'd like to think it doesn't, but I do think realistically, we live in a world where that very much could be the case. And I do think the Scientology thing also didn't help, to be honest. I do think that's a tough kind of pill to swallow for pretty much anyone. So probably some people plugged out, right away when they heard that info. I mean, I was among them for a time. And because I listened to the album once, then I read Scientologist, and I was like, okay, I can't listen to it ever again. And then as time went on, I was like, okay, they aren't doing a weird Scientology pivot. I guess I could listen to this music. And that's my own personal moral system. And I wouldn't want like the proceeds from my streams to go to the Church of Scientology. That's basically the reasoning, right? And in the end, it's like some people probably aren't like me, where I should have waited for the wind one more time. I was too impulsive, guys. I forgot what I'm saying, so goodbye. It's over. I guess what I'm saying is I think a share of the audience left because of that and just won't come back. And I don't even think that's a bad thing. I think that's just how it is, I do think some are of course, probably sexist bigots, but that's mainly because of my understanding as a lit scholar that like there's a measurable demographic of men who don't read women authors on purpose, or maybe not on purpose, but they do not read women authors, period. And some of that is maybe with intent, and some of it is maybe not with intent, right? Some of that might just be subconscious. But I think the same rule could apply to music. And me, I've always believed that women have a great capacity for art. I dare say I like women singing more than men singing, for instance. So, in my own case, I feel a bit out of sorts on that front, but I think it's completely possible that this is one of the reasons that they have seen a huge decrease in ticket sales. Is just there are men, knowing or unknowing, who do not want to reconnect with Linkin Park because it has a woman singer. I also do think, though, there are people who are fans of Linkin Park who they don't want to rewrite their memories of Chester. Chester was a great vocalist, wonderful person, by all accounts. And if they saw him once in performance, which I never have had the pleasure of having, but maybe you just don't go to a concert then, because you're gonna overwrite those songs and you're gonna have to deal with it a different way. I don't know though. What do you think? It's kind of a heavy topic. I'm on heavy topics today, guys. 76 falls. And I'm running out of time, folks. If I do run out of time, I might actually break my own rules a little bit. And I think that's totally fair. I think I'm allowed to do that. No one can stop me. But if that is the case, then I'll save and I'll come back in and I'll finish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was messy. What does this music remind me of? It's horrible. I really hope I'm getting good at this section because I have spent so much time here. I don't know. I'm gonna say I put a lot of gas on that, and I don't really know. Why? We're getting better. We're getting worse. Ah. whenever that particular fall happens, I feel so sad. It's rough, a tough one. It looks like daylight savings time happened, which I remember being true. Makes me feel a little bit better about waking up really early feeling today, but I guess it was actually later. um, that's good. And yet I'm yawning, guys. I've been trying to drink less caffeine because I felt like some tightening up in here. And gonna stay on that and not drink any strong teas or anything this morning, but I feel like I need it a little bit. There we go. Let's go. I never thought that I would just be stuck here this whole time. I thought I'd be able to finish this damn game today. And yet here I am at 86 falls, and I feel no further than 2 times ago. And the truth is, I'm actually struggling at a farther forward point than ever before, right? I don't think I've ever done this section this many times in a row. I just did the thing again, guys, where I didn't wait. I wasn't patient. We're going to be patient this time. But yeah. I think it is just like a almost max jump right here. Yeah. Then it's just a small jump. And this is the tough one that Joey taught me. Yep. And now I just need to get up there. And we did it. Okay, we're in Chapel Perilous. We're in Chapel Perilous. Okay. I think there's a way. I think I have to get on the thingy, right? There we go. It's not max. Not max. Okay. Oh yeah, I can bounce off. That's big. I think what we do is we jump this, then we jump up there. Yep. Then we jump up there. We do this. And I don't know. Okay, maybe we Is max? That's max. Okay. All right. I think it was something like this. Okay, it was not that, guys. That was not it. This reminds me of the Dragon Age Inquisition song. The night will come or the dawn will come. It's a little different, but there is some of that in here. $95. You know what? I have to actually go now. I do. I have to play some Schedule 1 with the homes. So I'm gonna go until I fall one more time. And then I'm gonna come back and we'll see what happens with the rest when I save. Disaster. I said that, but then I need to get back up here for my own sanity. Okay. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, he says. Just trying to feel it all out. I really feel it. Okay. Blue Rune. I'm gonna save now. I didn't realize that's what happens when you save, but thank you for watching the first part of this Jump King challenge. Welcome back, friends, as we continue slightly later in the day. Didn't end yet, obviously, but we've got 17 falls to go in this section I've never been to before. What a start. What a start. Oh my god. I think the good news is that this lamp section seems really easy, especially compared to the wind section. Oh my gosh. So yeah, what was I doing just now? I was playing Schedule 1 with Johannes and Chris. Good time. Very enjoyable. Let's try that again. Yes. Yes. Okay, I think that's just up. Clean, clean. I'm worried that this is max. I think I only get to try. Yeah. Okay. Learning by doing, right? Okay. I don't know what's up. Okay, I can be a little bit further over. There's something deeply humorous about that, though. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, folks. Okay. Okay, again, I can go a little bit higher than that. I wonder if it's max. It's max. I can max that. Lovely. That always feels very crisp. I like that. I'm not used to that one yet, so I don't feel very bad when I mess up on it, because I'm just like, okay, I'm learning. I wish I could have that kind of mentality all the time, I guess, but you know, when you're redoing a section you've done a bunch of times, you don't really get to have it nearly as well. So I think it kind of tracks ultimately. And this is just smooth sailing. Very nice. Oh, too far. Honestly, that was a good fall spot. That was not, though. And we're already down to our last 9, 10, 8 falls. But I have like a lot more energy in this section, you probably can tell. I'm just like a little bit more excited. It's just that the possibility of doing this ice section is just exciting to me. I'm like feeling very positive about it. Okay, I've got to really always hit the thing. I thought I could just kind of slide it, but not true. Oh, you can salvage. That's big. I think if I just go here, I'm good. Yep. Okay. Okay. Why did I max that? Moment of weakness for real, guys. It's okay, we've got 6 falls. I'm not going to mess up and forget how many falls I have again, because I get too swept up emotionally. Maybe. No promises. Although I'm going to be honest, that controller falling stuff last time was horrible. It was mentally damaging. No! I'm really glad, though, that when you land like that you get to just go back. That's really, honestly, helpful. Okay. I don't know. That was not clean. Go back this way. I felt like a bad anime character in that moment. I don't know why, but I wanted to pout with my mouth. I was trying to. I have only 1 fall left. Okay. Well, I'm gonna beat it. We're maximum locked in. And that's 115 falls. Again, I made it up here. We are in the new high. We actually got a new record high again. We peaked one more time. I have good feelings, everyone. I do. I think we're nearing the end of the challenge. There's not much left of this game, I hope. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Bye.